What up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a splendid freaking day. I am. I'm just driving to the grocery store and I'm gonna make a quick video. I want to talk about everyone's tendency to fight our lives, to fight our experience, and to fight the outside world into submission. And if we haven't realized it yet, the world does not submit to us, or rarely. In fact, the amount of control we have over the world, or even our own internal experience, is highly limited. And sometimes it takes a lifetime or more to, actually really see that, like, what are we doing here? Like, we've been doing this for 50 years, and all we're doing is keeping ourselves with a perceived level of safety. We just rationalize things when things don't go the way we wanted. But the reality is, actually, we just never had that control in the first place. And when you ultimately realize that, it is freeing, it is liberating, because you're not hemorrhaging all your energy trying to manage everything. You're not hemorrhaging all your energy to try to control yourself and the outside world. And what happens when you realize this is beautiful. Because when you don't hemorrhage that internal energy, you free it up to do beautiful things, to connect with people, to just feel that inspired energy and love for what is. When you're not trying to change things, you ultimately love what's here. And when you love what's here, regardless of what it is, you can live a free life, an effortless life, and a peaceful life. We have a preconceived notion of how we want things to be, and that preconceived notion is based on conditioning. So it is arbitrary, and we live our lives fighting to make things fit our preconceived notion of how we think things should be. And it is futile, and it is straining, and it puts us in a box. Because as we're trying to do this, we're not being open to life. We are being closed off to life. And when you're closed off to life, you have tunnel vision. You don't see alternate opportunities. You don't appreciate things that are in front of you. Like, have you ever had the experience, and I know we all have, where you're just so tunnel visioned on something that's actually pretty meaningless when you think about it, but you're ruminating on it, and you're trying to control the outcome of something, and the whole time you're doing it, you're not present. You could spend days or even weeks, if it's really bad, just thinking repeatedly about the same thing that you're trying to control. And in doing so, people notice. They're like, well, this person's not really here. Like, maybe you're hanging out with friends and you're just not really there with them. You're just in your head, and people are talking to you, and maybe you even kind of space out a little bit. It's not a great place to be. It actually makes you miss your life, because we can spend a lot of time in that state where we're trying to control what's going on. You can spend 50% of your life there. So we have to ask ourselves, like, do we want to spend most of our lives trying to control everything and failing ultimately? Or do we want to spend our lives happy? Do we want to spend our lives enjoying what is here, enjoying in the mystery of what comes next, and feeling the love for ourselves and for the world and for everyone around us. Like, I think that choice, to me at least, is pretty obvious. But it requires something. It requires courage, because our whole lives we've been fighting to maintain our preconceived notions. And when something doesn't match our picture of the world, we rationalize it away. We try to do something about it rather than just like expanding into it. We are continuously trying to contract. So I think it's really good to reflect on this. Like, what are we getting from fighting the world? And what are we trying to do? Like, why are we doing it? And then really imagining an alternative perspective. Like, what is possible? Because it is also possible that we just don't know what's possible. Like, we don't know how good life can be. There's a saying, you don't see the world as it is, you see it as you are. And you could say to that, oh, well, life can't be good because life is shitty. Life is, there's taxes to be paid, and there's governments that are doing bad things, and we're on the brink of war all the time. The reality is that is an internal fear of yours that is being expressed onto the world. So actually, let us open our minds a bit and realize that life could be so much better. And when I say life, I mean our internal state, our internal experience. We have control over our intention. That's all we have control over, is our intention. We don't have control over the thoughts that arise, the emotions that arise. The only thing we have control over is our intention. And what can our intention be? How good can our intention be? Well, I would argue that a very noble and good intention to have is to allow life to play and to experience it through this lens of awareness, of love, of presence. Because ultimately, on our deathbeds, what we're going to regret is not living a present life, not living life in general, because you're not living if you're stuck in thought and trying to control everything. I think a lot of people, they hear this and they say, oh, well, if I embark on this endeavor, that, I'm not going to ever be successful, and I'm not going to get anything done. I'm not going to help the world. The reality, I believe, is the opposite. I believe when you stop hemorrhaging all that energy, trying to control everything, you actually free up so much energy and love to be a giver in the world. Even if it's just small things, like helping someone cross the street, or just what's in front of you, dealing with what's in front of you as it is. You actually see life more objectively. So I think a rebuttal to that is, it is a genuine fear, like our society really puts it on us that we need to be successful and we need to have high status, a lot of money, be confident. But I don't think it needs to be so planned. I don't think it needs to be so regimented and so controlled. I think if you just have a general idea of where you're trying to head, just a general direction, you just walk forward one step at a time, and that's all you can do. I've said it a few times on this channel. I think 5-year and 10-year plans are atrocious. I think it is pure cowardice, actually. Because you have no idea where you're going to be in 5 to 10 years, and you have no control over that. Do we not see this? The only thing you have control over is your response and intention in this very moment. That is all you have. And when you live from a place of clarity and from not having a plan, you make appropriate responses to this moment that's in front of you. So actually, you're more effective. And you just step toward that direction. You have a general direction, like you want to do a certain type of career. You start walking forward, and that's it. And if something catches your eye and it totally changes your mind, then you're going to be more open to this. You're not going to have that tunnel vision, and you're going to actually allow the path to take you where the best direction is, rather than just thinking, let me go here and fuck everything else. It's such a limited view of reality. The reality is we are small little gnats on a tiny dust ball in the middle of infinite space. We are on for a ride, is the reality. We are here for a ride. We do not get to play God in the slightest. In the slightest. And it is arrogant and narcissistic to think that we do. Yeah. So flow with life. You can have direction. Like, I'm not saying that. You can have direction and you can take actions. These things you can do. But being attached to the outcome of your action is delusion, actually. It is hope and delusion. So simplify life. Life really is quite simple. We have control over our intention and our actions, and that is it. And we just have this moment. We don't need to be ultra productive. We don't need to have a 10-year plan. We just need to live and be a good person. And whatever work is required of you in the path you set forward, you will get it done. You will get it done. So just relax. Physically relax. You don't get to control your thoughts or emotions. You get to allow them to open you even further. Your intention can be to stay open. If that is your only intention in this life, is to stay open, you're going to live a beautiful life. And if your intention is to stay safe and within the confines of your preconceived notions, then you're going to live a safe, perceived safety. You're going to feel potentially safer, but you're also going to be a prisoner. So hope you guys have a great day. Hope you stay open. Hope you can relax. We are infinite conscious love, and I hope you remember that. Okay, love you all. Bye.